scored 1 against Cuba and 2 against BVI to provide consistency and a constant threat for Grenada at that number 9 position. Well, these two teams have played each other twice before in this qualifying competition. Costa Rica winning the previous 2 contests handedly. They won the first one by winning by 9 goals to 1 in their first match, and their second one 7 goals to 0 in 2025 edition in Group F. So Costa Rica trying to do what they've always done, win big in the qualifying zone to then get into the tournament and then try to get into the World Cup. Grenada, they're trying to creep in, the Cinderella story of Group E as we get started tonight. The teams are about to come onto the field. We'll have national anthems, starting lineups, and meet the officials.
de Grenada. Nos mantenemos en pie y entonaremos las notas del himno nacional de Costa Rica. Costa Rica are going to have some fan support. They're just 238 miles away
from Nicaragua. Let's just call them neighbors for tonight. And Grenada, coming from the eastern side of the Caribbean, will have quite the flight to get to Nicaragua to play this match. They no doubt will feel like visitors in this field. But Grenada will have an unchanged lineup after that 6-0 win over BVI. Hippolyte up top with 2 goals. Martin, who scored a goal against BVI. Also Ariel Grant, number 7, has 2 goals in this competition, with a back line that's unchanged, marshaled by Mello and Providence, with Charles in goal. The 2 captains today, Cara Biasor from Grenada, and the goalkeeper from Costa Rica, Ashley Quesada. Match officials: Miriam Leon from El Salvador, Kimberly Barrios, Astrid Yax, and Yairi Aguilar from Guatemala will be the 4 officials for tonight's match. Costa Rica will come out in a 4-3-3, and they've made 4 changes. In goal, Quesada, the captain. Waiting for referees Leon's first whistle. She checks with the sidelines, and we are underway. It is the Spice Girls of Grenada against Las Ticas, or La Tricolor of Costa Rica, in Group E. Highly anticipated match anytime Costa Rica takes the field, and they've lived up to that hype. 29 goals in their first 2 matches. Grenada are no slouch. They've scored 9 in their first 2. 3 against Cuba, the #1 team in Group E at the moment, as Kate Fletcher gets her hands on the ball. Costa Rica started off their tournaments against BVI, and they won by a whopping 16 goals to 0. Nubia Medina had 5 goals in that match. She's up top, and there she is, being played in. And a timely clearance coming from Giselle Mello. Costa Rica take it quickly. Looking for options, they recycle, and it's given away. Here's Hippolyte, who's been one of the star attractions in the tournament. 3 goals in 2 matches. And she's a bundle of skill on the ball. Cara Biasor, the captain for Grenada tonight. Number 2. Hippolyte. And Costa Rica get it back. Marin. Perez. And the first touch for the captain, Ashley Quesada. Costa Rica followed up that 16-goal-0 victory over BVI with a 13-goal trouncing of Anguilla to score 29 in their first two. Medina's cross. Getting back on it. Look at the skill and the confidence. Mora. And this 4-3-3 setup, and Grenada just a little bit more conservative in a 4-2-3-1. Hippolyte, the lone forward, trying to harass the back line. Little touch inside. Here's Milo, given away, dangerous spot. Medina, the shots, great save in the end by Charles. Well, Kamaya Charles says good night to everyone. What a way to get started in the match. A fantastic save to the right. Played through was the number 10, Paniagua. And full stretch was Charles. Paniagua, 7 goals in the tournament. Here she is, right behind her number 11 partner, Nubia Medina, with 10 goals. And those pesky corner flags to the near post. And it goes through everybody, and it's in the back of the net. Costa Rica have scored on an own goal. Paniagua has scored directly from the corner kick. There's been a hush around the stadium. Nobody was sure what exactly happened until they saw the keeper get the ball out of the net. What a start for Las Ticas. And what a disaster for Kate Fletcher. Glancing off of her head, no chance for Charles at the near post. And a horror story for the defender and for Grenada. Costa Rica 1, Grenada 0, just 4 minutes into the match. Not sure if it's going to be given as an own goal or a Paniagua strike. We'll wait to see. This Sasor goes outside to Fletcher, who feels like she can just dig a hole and bury herself into it. It's never easy for defenders. Own goals are part of the package, playing in that position. Melo giving chase. Paniagua on that left foot. Lays it back. Gets it back. And wins the free kick. The skill of Paniagua and Medina on top of the 18-yard box is so hard for defenders to stay in front of them every time they try to stick a foot and try to get a piece of the ball. Medina and Paniagua seem to get their body and feet in the way. So the angle favors the right foot. Not sure if Paniagua is going to be in the vicinity. Iska Chaveri, who's brought back into the lineup tonight, is the right footer. Paniagua is there. Costa Rica understands and enjoys the attacking part of this sport, and they have pushed 7 players forward. Remarkable. Chaveri, Wall did its job. Paniagua, the follow-up. Oh, not too far off. She put her laces right through it, Paniagua. She's a joy to watch. Lucia Paniagua. 4 goals against BVI, 3 goals against Anguilla, and 1 goal tonight. 8 goals altogether. Chaveri. Already having the lion's share of possession, Costa Rica pinning Grenada back. They won't mind, with Hippolyte being their centre forward. They're accustomed to having the number 13 just roam and capitalize on any loose balls or balls over the top. Barquero. Still Barquero. Looking to go to the ground. And like a pinball machine, it comes off Barquero. Goal kick for Grenada. Can the Spice Girls bounce back from that early setback coming from a Paniagua corner off the forehead of Fletcher? And this one is back into Paniagua's path. Look at the skill on display. Beautiful cutting in and out, and then bends it! What a strike! Cameron Mora. Take a bow. Charles has been beaten twice, and there's nothing she could do with any of them. A drop of the shoulder, a twist of the hip, and a curler, a pearler of a curler. Skill on display with Las Ticas on the field. Costa Rica 2, Grenada 0, and we've barely caught our breath. The Central Americans stamping their authority in the opening 8 minutes of this match. And Grenada have done nothing wrong. It's just all Costa Rica and their level of play. Bisasor. Medina. Here they come again. El Tricolor in the hunt. Perez. And they decide to give Quesada a touch. Try to draw Grenada out. Beautifully done by the left back Perez. Left centre back rather. Here is the left back, Barquero. Hesitant touch, but the recovery. Perez. Intercepted. Grant. Hippolyte. Excellent turn again by Hippolyte. Just shrugs past the defender. Tries to play Bisasor in space, but tried to be too exact. Perez, little turn, takes his sting out of the play. And a dangerous ball, must be said. Paniagua comes deep. Medina makes a run. She's onside. Tries to hook it back to Paniagua. Nubia Medina, 5 goals in the first match, 5 in the second. Just made her first error of the tournament. Grenada's affiliation with England cannot go unsaid. Players from all over England on the pitch. We have 3 Queen's Park Rangers players who play at the club level. We also have the centre-back Ariane Matlin, who plays for Florida Premier FC in the US. Here's Medina. Excellent challenge, just a lucky bounce. Paniagua. 4 against 2, no matter, Medina gets it back. Mora. Azufeifa. Early cross. Headed out by Mello. Awkward scoop. Looking for Grant. Lewis. Costa Rica closed down quickly. And Grenada have to retreat. Isasor trying to find Hippolyte, who's going to be on an island tonight. She's going to be on island time. Perez looks a little awkward. Still clutching that knee. Hippolyte's cross. Superbly done at the back. Tucks it in for Paniagua, gets it back as a Feifa. Medina making the run. Offside, the call. With Grenada come into this match 10th in the tournament in goals. That says a lot. It's 28 teams in the competition. They're also 9th in the conversion rate at 20%. Pass accuracy, Grenada 69%, 10th as well. Spice Girls have left their mark already in this tournament. Given away and trying the impossible. Quesada lays down and controls. That was the first real touch of the ball for Adonia McNeely. Clever ball. Azofeifa. Fletcher wins the free kick. Melo's going to leave this for Kamaya Charles, who's been beaten twice already in this tournament. This is the infraction. Just absolutely toppling Fletcher. But they get it back. Paniagua. Mora. One of the goals of the tournament. Trying to find Medina. Coming out is... sixes and sevens at the back. Charles finally gets her hands to it, but Medina was using too many hands on the shoulder and back of Melo. There's chaos anytime the number 11 is in pursuit. Everyone goes flying, and in the end, referee Leon points in the direction of Grenada. Lina Arana, who's seen her team score 31 goals now in 2 matches and 15 minutes. Poor kick from Charles. Gives Paniagua some daylight. Asking the referee for the tug of the shirt. Fletcher's throw. Turning inside and just hoofing it down the field, and guess who's on it? Hippolyte. On the far side is Grant. Mora splitting lines. Azofeifa. Melo gets there first. Can she keep it in play? "16 minutes gone. Costa Rica 2, Grenada 0. An own goal from Fletcher. And a perler of a curler coming from Cameron Mora. Vaquero. Back to Vaquero. Up the line. Here's Marin. Trying to cut in on that right foot. And couldn't pick out Vaquero. Paniagua rather. Grant, excellent first touch. Lewis looks inside. And referee Leon is going to call this match very tight. It'll dink over the top. Perez. We talked about Grenada's accolades in this tournament so far with goals and pass accuracy and conversion rates. Wait till we get to Costa Rica. Smart ball inside, Hippolyte. Cuts back, still Hippolyte. Oh, what a goal! Alexis Hippolyte has dragged one back. Grenada on the board. Costa Rica 2, Grenada 1. Quesada has been beaten and feathers have been ruffled. Look at the cutback, how sharp. And then on the left foot, powers it past Quesada. And why not? Her 4th goal for the tournament. And it's not that Grenada are overpowering everyone. She's had to do a lot of work for her goals. She's class, Alexis Hippolyte. And she gets her name up in lights for the 3rd consecutive match. Medina. What's the response of Las Ticas? Back heel, Vaquero. This kick by Melo. But the red shirts have a certain type of energy behind them. Out by Fletcher. Trying to be too cute as Methlin. Perez. Look at the discipline by Grenada. It is lines of red trying to hold off Costa Rica. Now they're just a goal behind. Medina, hounded by Lewis. Excellent skill, Medina. Across the suit. Grit, determination, keeping Grenada in this match. Marin. Javeri. So hard to dispossess them. Azure Feifa. Paniagua. Still Paniagua. Twisting and turning. It is going to be a goal kick, next to the chagrin of the number 10. Excellent call by the assistant referee. And she's already left her mark on this match, contributing to the first goal off of Fletcher's forehead. Azure Feifa keeps possession. And Costa Rica now know they're in a match. Those first 2 goals came too easy. And Grenada just punched them right back in the mouth. Slipped inside. Medina comes short. Early ball in. Charles comes out of a goal, nowhere to be found. And now the offside call. And there was a teasing cross coming from Cameron Mora on that far side. Left Charles way out of her goal. You can understand the confidence might be dwindling for the number 21 after conceding 2 goals in the first 8 minutes. As a Pfeiffer tries to curl one. Grenada has a date with Anguilla on February 2nd, and Costa Rica have a showdown with Cuba on that very day to decide Group A. Very high hands coming from Cameron Mora. And Cameron Mora saying the high hands will not be tolerated. That is the last chance. Jasmine Lewis plays for Ottawa South United in Canada. Grant, full of confidence, Grant. Lofty back in. Is Hippolyte onside? No, she's not. Perez. Quesada plays for Alajuelense. Anybody who is worth their weight in salt in this part of the world knows everything about Alajuelense in Costa Rica. Beautifully done at the back. Now Grant. Important touch from Marine. Hippolyte wins the throw-in. Lewis. Given away, Marine. Excellent run by Paniagua. She's onside, coming across is Melo. And the 1v1 defending for Grenada has been 10 out of 10 tonight. As a Pfeiffer, and the challenge full of heart and grit that has personified the Spice Girls in the opening 25 minutes. There is Melo, who has been involved in this match, and as much as just about any other person on the pitch. Mora. Perez. Arunis goes outside. As a Pfeiffer makes the run. Hooks it back and try to get it on top of the 18-yard box. But Grenada are pinned in their own defensive third. And pickpocketed was Baquero. And Hippolyte just says hello to, and now she's going to get, quite rightly, a word from the referee Leon to let it go, no pushing. But you can see the feistiness from the players. We just saw Hippolyte, we saw Mora with the high hands 2 minutes ago. What it means for these players to take the pitch for their country. And the fact that Grenada has put up such a stand, Costa Rica is starting to second-guess themselves. Medina. Lewis in pursuit. Mora switching sides. Paniagua! Well, you can never blink with a left foot like that. Just made some room for herself and put the laces again right through the ball, clips the crossbar on the way through. Charles could only stand and stare. Grant has picked up a knock in her head. And the protocol from FIFA, game has to be stopped. Bakero and Grant. Ooh. You can feel that all the way into the stands. And here comes the ice. From head injury to brain freeze. Bakero, who the contact was in the front of her head, is still shaken up. And referee, and it's actually head coach Randy Boca, has to be very, very happy with what she's seen. And Lina Arana is looking a little dazed and confused. Round of applause from the stands, signifying that Grant is back on her feet. So too Bakero. Nothing like an ice bath. Referee Leon says play on. Marine's throw. Costa Rica want to find some room to breathe. They recycle the ball. Bakero trying to bend it in Charles with a foot race against Medina. Flag up on the far side. Well, Nubia Medina plays for Escorpiones de Garbito. Paniagua in the 4th, Mora in the 8th, and Hippolyte in the 18th. Tells this story after 30 minutes. So they've given the goal to Paniagua. Just that Fletcher was beaten with the flight of the delivery. Grant can't control it. Marine steps in and wins the throw-in. Well, Costa Rica, always the big girls on the block. Second in goal conversions with 36%. First in goals with 29. In passes, 7th. 883 coming into this match. Pass accuracy, #1 in the tournament. A whopping 89%. Fletcher gets a toe to it. Important recovery by Azo Pfeiffer. And now a foot race with Melo and Medina. And Medina gets on the end of it. And Melo steps in Well-timed challenge. And the tugging of the shirt will be penalized. Paniagua. Gets it back. This time pass. Lewis into the feet of Hippolyte. And crowded out immediately by Perez. Costa Rica wins a free kick after the referee, Leon, tried to play the advantage. Bisasor, the captain, plays for Hamilton United in England. High kick. Iska Chaveri plays for Saprissa, another giant in club football. Good ball to the far side, but Charles was alive to it. Quesada, already beaten once in this match at her near post, conceding for the first time of the tournament. Hippolyte with a bit of magic. I have to say that Quesada could have done better to keep it out at her near post, but the power was impressive from Hippolyte. Vargas. Chaveri. Coming deep is Chaveri again. Splitting the two centre-backs. Here's Juan Perez. Taking her eyes off of it was Baquero. 10 minutes to go in this first half. In Managua, Nicaragua, Costa Rica jumped ahead on a 2-goal lead after 8 minutes. Goals from Paniagua and Mora, and then Hippolyte dragged one back in the 18th minute. And we are deadlocked ever since. Lewis couldn't find Grant. Slowly but surely, they move down in the right direction, Grenada, pushing Costa Rica back inch by inch. And the bounce for Bisasor. And now a foot race. Medina, she's quick. So too Melo. Superb pass to Paniagua, trying to get back on that left foot. Chaveri. Vargas. Now they try to break, but they can't. Problem is when you get pushed so far back in a low block, even when you win it back, there are no alleyways or passing lanes to get the ball out. And Costa Rica enjoy that advantage. Chaveri's first touch is a good one. Perez couldn't match it. Isasor. Lewis. Still Lewis. And a toe poke from Mora. Isasor gets it back, trying to play it through. Referee says play on. Chaveri. Medina is offside. Actually, Paniagua. Is Melo. And Grenada enjoying the better of the exchanges in the last 5 minutes in regards to possession. Hippolyte crowded out by 2 white shirts, expectedly. And concedes a free kick. Chaveri does a superb job dropping in between the 2 centre-backs and have them go out wide, like right here. And a rare moment for McNeely for Grenada on that far side. Here she is. It's the throw-in. Adonia McNeely plays for Queen's Park Rangers. Is matched up with Vargas on that far side. Melo. Dangerous play by the centre-back. Allows Marin to get in. It recovers. Melo. McNeely. Nobody inside. Azufeifa through the legs of Fletcher. Paniagua as Melo waiting. Fletcher recovers. Change of pace by Paniagua and wins the free kick. Beautifully done by the left footer. And Fletcher becomes the first person to be carded in this match. Well, it's a thankless task to try and stay in front of Paniagua. She wears that number 10 with pride. And Fletcher doing what any defender would do. Under 5 minutes to go in this first half. Costa Rica 2, Grenada 1. Paniagua is over another dead ball. She scored the first from a corner kick, directly from a corner kick. And the angle favors the left footer again, if they want to put Charles under pressure in goal. Taken quickly. Played short into the path of Azufeifa. And beautifully taken in the end. Superb free kick by Costa Rica. And they convert as Grenada stand and stare. It's Baquero coming from left back who is up for the free kick. Coach Arana is off of her seat and enjoys the goal. Taken quickly. Back in by Azufeifa, but look at the finish. And it was actually number 15, Marin. Clinical. Nothing Charles can do. The build-up between Paniagua and Azufeifa created the space on the right-hand side. And Marin finished delightfully. So Marin makes it 3. Isasor spraying it out to McNeil. Wants to dribble, wants to take players on. And the recovery has been spectacular by Azir Pfeiffer. The burst of speed to get back into it was incredible. Corner kick, first corner for Grenada. It's Arian Mathlin. Swung in to the penalty spot. Grant! That's the best chance they've had since they've scored, Grenada. It was still awkward, she had a lot to do, Grant. Wasn't too far off. But that's going to give Grenada some confidence and get Costa Rica a free kick. Azir Pfeiffer gets the better of Fletcher, who's on a yellow card. Paniagua can't turn. Javeri's follow through. Perez. Marin, dispossessed. Isasor pokes it. But Hippolyte is going to have to give chase. Quesada. One minute of injury time to be played. What has been a very, very intense match, or intense first half. Lewis tangling with Marin, coming away is Baquero. Tries to curl it around to Medina. Medina gets around Charles. Paniagua is there! Delightful play by Costa Rica. A counter-attack for the ages. It was Baquero's ball that found the on-running Medina. She rounded Charles, who's in no man's land again, and rolled it into Paniagua, who gets her second for tonight's match. Unselfish from Medina, and a cool finish for Paniagua into an open goal. Costa Rica 3, Grenada 1, and what a way to finish the half. Took the legs right out of Grenada, who hung in there right up until the last minute of the first half. And that will do it for 45 minutes. Costa Rica, who were looking around astonished from a terrific performance from Grenada, has gotten a third goal from the foot of Paniagua, who now has 2 in this match, 9 altogether in the competition, to give her team a 2-goal cushion going into the dressing room. Mora's second goal was superb. Fletcher on a yellow card will have to watch her P's and Q's for the second 45. But it was intense for the first 45 minutes. Grenada held up their end of the bargain. Costa Rica 3, Grenada 1. When we come back to Managua, we'll have first half highlights. Concacaf Women's Under-17 qualifiers continues in Managua, Nicaragua. Group E action. And we have Costa Rica, who are trying to catch Cuba at 3 points behind with a game in hand, taking on the feisty Grenada. Costa Rica leading this tournament with 29 goals, going against the Spice Girls, who have 9 goals from 2 matches. And Costa Rica started where they left off. Paniagua getting in, and a save by Charles in the opening 2 minutes. Then, in swing corner, beats everyone to the near post, and Paniagua puts Costa Rica on the board with a superb corner. Then, skill, mortar, twisting, turning, curling, 2-0. A thing of beauty. Genius play, like in her backyard. Gives Costa Rica a 2-0 lead in 8 minutes. Then it was Medina, Charles off of a line. Then Hippolyte, Grenada looking to bounce back through their star forward, and they do just that. Had so much to do, cut back, the power of the left foot to beat Quesada. 2-1, game on. Paniagua's strike clips the crossbar. Paniagua again, beating Fletcher, getting a yellow card was the left back Fletcher. And then from the ensuing corner, free kick. Beautiful play from Costa Rica as a Pfeiffer and Marin. Just before the half, the sucker punch from Costa Rica to go up 3-1. Superb finish by Marin. And then Medina rounding Charles and finding Paniagua. Brilliant stuff. And now a commanding lead for Costa Rica, who has scored 4 goals in this first half. Costa Rica 4. Well, the all-important stat, the top stat, Costa Rica 4, Grenada 1. And great value for that scoreline, 10 shots to 3, 6 of those on target. The percentage in ball possession is one-way traffic, 71% to 29. The Grenada just trying their best to hold off and play counter-attack. Now in this second half, down by 3 goals. That can no longer be the philosophy. They're going to have to come out against Costa Rica to get a chance. So Costa Rica dominance towards the end of the first half. When we come back to Managua, we'll have the second half. We are back in Managua, Nicaragua, where Grenada are making some moves. Down by 4-1. Fletcher, with her yellow card woes, will be replaced by number 16, Rachel Etienne. And then number 11, Haley McIntyre, will come in for number 7, Ariel Grant. So we are back on the way. Grenada with the ball from right to left in red. Costa Rica in all white. And it was a 1-2 shot to the head, to Grenada's head, with 5 minutes to go in the first half. It was 2-1, game hanging in the balance. And Costa Rica got a goal from an inventive free kick, with Marin tucking it in to make it 3-1. And then a counter-attack at the edges for Paniagua to get her second goal to make it 4-1. Hippolyte. Out wide. Etienne. Dispossessed.
No tiene tapa.
So McIntyre, who plays for Royal Grenada Police Force on that right-hand side. Shade Roberts wins the corner kick for Grenada, and this is the sort of play that we saw in the first half. We saw Grenada every so often probing and forcing Costa Rica back, and with the score 2-1, it certainly looked like a different picture to what we see now at 4-1. But they force a corner in the opening minute and a half. Lofted to the penalty spot and a header. That was the number 10, Adonia McNeely, Queen's Park Ranger player. Lovely lofted ball by Giselle Mello. Azu Pfeiffer is sprinting and coming all the way back was Etienne with her fresh legs to dispossess her. And Azu Pfeiffer's assist for that third goal for Marine really opened things up for Costa Rica to get the fourth. Etienne. Superbly done by Chaveri. It was an inventive pass coming from Mora. But Grenada, you have to say, stayed compact. As Assord is tumbled over and a free kick for Grenada. That was Perez, the left centre-back. If we do live standings, and the fact that Costa Rica has a 3-goal cushion, they will leapfrog Cuba for first place in Group E with their whopping goal difference. Paniagua into Medina, Charles off of a line in no man's land again. Vargas. Chaveri. Little 1-2, gets it back on top of the box. Goes down, here's Mello. And Costa Rica skillfully and efficiently get it back. Quesada conceding her first goal for the tournament against Alexis Hippolyte. Azu Pfeiffer is onside, clipped into the box! And that was not too far off for guess who? Naima Medina, looking for her 11th goal for the competition. Came inside and got inside of the centre-back. Just couldn't convert. Etienne. Costa Rican subs warming up on the sidelines. Mora. Perez. It's Paquero. Marin. 1v1 with Lewis. Switching sides, drawing Grenada out. And slipped through the gap for Paniagua. Vargas's cross. Superb control by Medina. Chaveri. Slide tackle. But Costa Rica inevitably get it back. And some more skill on display. As Mora again, almost with a textbook or copycat of play of her own play. Pulling it back on her right foot and just trying to bend it into that last post. Costa Rica have qualified for 2 Women's World Cups U17. Trying to do it for a 3rd time. Paniagua just full of skill and wins the corner kick. Mello, who has had quite the game at centre-back. Just 15 years old. Lofted into the box. Comes off the waist of Lewis. Referee says no handball, play on. Chaveri. Paquero trying to find Marin, but he inevitably finds Medina. Medina shot. She hasn't had many chances, Medina, as compared to her 5 goals against BVI and her 5 other goals against Anguilla. It's been a little harder to create space against this Grenadan team. At this point, the lush forest of Costa Rica is beating the 3-mile beach of blue sea and white sand of Grandance Beach in Grenada. Costa Rica now a 3-goal cushion.
Ok, chicas, desde el micrófono hasta la última marca verde, pareja, se haga una bailarina. Regresan igual. Ahora, tapeando la puerta, venga. Sí, con Emma.
Paniagua, hard as a fifer on her right-hand side, finds Chaveri. And it's Mello again, full of pace and power. And Etienne, who just came on, can't seem to settle. Vaquero. And Marin is offside. Free kick to Grenada. Costa Rica have a date with Cuba to decide Group E on February 2nd. Grenada still have one more match against Anguilla. They lost the heartbreaking match against Cuba in the opening encounter on the opening day, 4-3. And that has put them in an uphill position since that loss to Cuba. Did well against BVI with that 6-goal flurry. Did well against Costa Rica in the first half and then lost the plot with 5 minutes to go. Etienne's throw. Melo. Back to this near side, and it finds no one. It's going to be a throw-in for Costa Rica. Javeri, beautiful skill, just to buy herself some time. Quesada. In between the two Costa Rican players finds McIntyre, who was a little too eager. McIntyre, who's unattached, 16 years of age, had a goal against BVI. Hence the reason they brought her on in this second half to try and find one on that right-hand side. As if Pfeiffer's asking for it on this near side. Costa Rica can't seem to have enough room to find her. Javeri trying to find Medina over the top. Melo. Too casual. Now Medina gets a piece of it. Well, she's physical, just like every coach wants their centre forward. Absolutely manhandles Cara Bisasor. Etienne. Melo. Clever pass. Twisting and turning. And a shot from way outside. Coming from Ariane Matlin. The Florida Premier FC midfielder just had a little bit of daylight and thought it best to try and test Quesada. Vargas. Javeri just roams the midfield from sideline to sideline, trying to bring the ball out of the back for Costa Rica. Plays as a true number 6. And we say number 6 quite lightly. Number 6 in regards to Europe. As a defensive midfield in South America, it will be number 5. Stepping in is Vargas. Now that Costa Rica is firmly in control trying to just draw Grenada out. Grenada, to their credit, is trying to push as hard as they could to try and create a turnover, to try and create some doubt in Costa Rica's mind. Superbly done by Baquero. And then the toe poke, a thing of genius. Charles is out of her goal. And now it's as a Pfeiffer. Can she convert? That was a long way off. Well, she's all smiles as a Pfeiffer. This somehow finds its way to Hippolyte, who switches this play, expertly done. And Quesada, reading it, clears her lines. An hour gone. Costa Rica 4, Grenada 1. Chaveri, like Costa Rica, in control. As a Pfeiffer, making the run. Paniagua in space. Medina to her left. And Lewis almost scored what would have been a spectacular own goal. Jasmine Lewis, who had a goal against Cuba, almost had a second goal tonight in the wrong direction. Baquero. Back by McIntyre into the path of Lewis. Mello. Etienne. Excellent first touch, but can't keep possession with the second and third touch. Paniagua puts Medina in space. Medina 1v1 against Charles and tucks it home. She's worked hard, Nubia Medina, and Paniagua with the assist to give Las Ticas a 5-1 lead over Grenada. Grenada pushing up for that goal. Mello was caught, and the tuck-in by Medina was superb. The technique, 5 stars on Yelp. Beautifully done by the centre forward. She gets her 11th goal for the competition, and she's scored in her 3rd consecutive match. It's been tough going for her tonight, but she took her chance well. Well, it must be said, it's not as easy as the 16-0 and then 13-0 2 matches for Costa Rica. This Grenadian team put a lot of pressure on Las Ticas in the first half. And this ball has gone out of play, but they've turned it on, Costa Rica, when they've had to. Now 5 goals to the good. Paniagua with 2. Medina with 1, Marin with 1, and Mello. Etienne under duress. Pocket is picked. Vargas, good delivery. And it beats the on-rushing Marin. Costa Rica recycling, trying to create some space for the forward line. Excellent pick by Etienne. And a change of pace by McIntyre. It's going to be a throw-in for Grenada. Tucked inside, but one back by Costa Rica. Javeri. As a Pfeiffer to her right. Gets past Etienne. As a Pfeiffer. Medina turns and shoots. Could so easily have been 6. Just lean back a fraction. Chess came back and the ball followed. Ina Adana speaking to her assistant coach, looking to make some moves. Paniagua to Mora with a delightful goal. Marin with the tap-in from the free kick. Medina gets her goal. And Hippolyte for Grenada got her 4th goal and a 3rd goal in consecutive matches. Grenada win it back. But every pass just seems to be a fraction short or a fraction far. And the Spice Girls, who have put up an excellent showing in this tournament, will have to go back to the drawing board. Very young team, 15 and 16-year-olds. Vargas as a Pfeiffer. Superbly done past Etienne. Now against Melo. Change of pace, beats Melo to the last post. There's no Marin. Didn't get the email. Javeri. Vargas looks inside. Paniagua back into the path of Mora. Marin. Lost the ball for a second. There's Baquero with the space of Managua. Look at the turn by Paniagua, just stop it. Onto that weaker right foot. But when you're up 5-1, why not? Quesada, who the only goal she's conceded in the tournament in the 18th minute. Seems like an eternity ago. As a Pfeiffer. Pulls it back smartly. Vargas. Charles living dangerously. Roberts finds the number 18, Matlin. And Hippolyte, other than the goal that she scored, has been very quiet in the second half. Medina. Lewis can't hold off Medina. And she tucks it in. Lewis lost the race and Medina made her pay. Something out of nothing. And Nubia Medina gets her second goal for the night and her 12th for the competition. Paniagua threads the needle. Lewis backed off. Medina didn't. And she just toe poked it past the on-running Charles. Beauty of a pass and the cheekiness of a finish. And that spells Costa Rica in this tournament. That being said, Grenada make another change. Macklin comes off. And number 9, Shadell Jones, checks in. Jones plays for Queen's Park Rangers. No doubt will be playing centre forward with Hippolyte. Etienne is switching with Lewis. Lewis is going to come to this left-hand side, Etienne to the right. Isasor.
Gol en la selección de Costa Rica, anota con el número 11, Nubia Medina, minuto 70.
Free kick for Grenada. Still trying to get one back as Paniagua is tying her shoelaces. Excellent anticipation by Mora. Medina finds Azufaifa. The shot almost ended up in the parking lot. Well, she hasn't had the Midas touch with her finishing, Azufaifa, but she's certainly been a presence on this right-hand side, creating chances for the unrunning Marine. Medina. Lewis. Azufaifa back inside. Chaveri turns away from danger. Costa Rica firmly in control. Chaveri again. Full of confidence. Paniagua wants to get on that left foot. Drop of the shoulder to the byline. Drags it back and Medina! The easiest of the lot. And took her eyes off it for a fraction. And that was Paniagua at her very best, creating, pulling the strings. Nicole Hernandez, who started the last match, will come in. For Marine. Guillaume Lopez will checking as well for Cameron Mora. 2 goal scorers. Marine and Mora depart. Nicole Hernandez plays for Saprissa. And Guillaume Lopez, her teammate in Saprissa as well. Costa Rica aren't finished yet. You can see the press is ready and able as soon as Charles gets the ball back in play. Beautiful turn by Hippolyte, quite the player. Could have gone outside, but tried to go in it alone. Quesada. Vargas finds Azufaifa. Making the run is the substitute, Lopez. Out wide, Vargas again. Lopez cuts it back. Vargas looking for options.
Calma, calma, calma.
Excellent play by Lopez. Twinkle toes, gets past two. Roberts. Actually, it's Bisasor, the captain. And wins the free kick after Chaveri, actually Paniagua using excessive force. Mello. Finding McNeely. Bisasor. Here's McIntyre. Etienne. Clever play by Grenada. Trying to build some confidence. The game has gone out of hand, but they still have pride to play for and future endeavours. Last time these teams met, it was Costa Rica again with a commanding performance. 7-0 win in the Caribbean and Central America preliminary phase in 2025 in the Estadio Olímpico Feliz Sanchez in Santo Domingo. Paniagua scored twice in that affair, so too Chaveri. Tonight it's 6-1, but the scoreline doesn't tell the story. Things only fell apart with 5 minutes to go in the first half after Grenada punched back after being 2 goals down. But the class of Costa Rica took its form, took its shape, and overpowered Grenada towards the end of that first half. Roberts turning in trees and wins the free kick. Corner flag pass. McNeely giving chase. So to Vargas. Neely tries to square it back. And the defender and Quesada were on the same page. That was Lewis making a run. Neely's in an awkward position after trying to square that ball back from the byline. She's going to have to be attended to. The Grenadian doctor, physiotherapist of Jana Kalist out there attending to McNeely. The Queen's Park Ranger player also played with Millwall. Very much in the fray of English football. She limps off as Costa Rica makes some more changes. So Baquero, who opened the path for Medina to set up Paniagua for the 4th goal, comes off. Medina comes off. comes Maria Gonzalez. Stacy Venegas.
Doble sustitución en la selección de Costa Rica.
Venegas plays for Alajuelense.
Ingresa con el número 9.
So too her teammate Maria Gonzalez.
Con el número 17 sale Anaiteni Barquero, que ingresa con el número 21.
So a drop ball in Costa Rica's favor to get us back underway. McNeely is hobbling gingerly. Crossed by Azufeifa. Top of the box and tucked away beautifully. Superb composure. And it's the substitute, Nicole Hernandez. Her first touch of the ball was immaculate. Charles has bent over to the knee. A missed kick allows Hernandez to come in and just nonchalantly hooks it into that first post. She gets her name in lights. Costa Rica 7, Grenada 1. And if you're keeping track at home, that's 36 goals for the tournament for Costa Rica. Sor goes down, and now with Costa Rica with fresh legs and something to prove. Here comes the substitute. It's Paniagua. 3 white shirts in the middle. A toe by Charles, and Melo is there to clean up. Venegas. As a Pfeiffer. Well, this was always going to be the hardest game for Grenada. The 4-3 loss to Cuba gives you an indication of where things lie in this group. And Cuba will have to take on the Titans of Costa Rica on February 2nd. They'll have to win that match with Costa Rica with the incredible goal tally of plus 35. Cuba will have to beat Costa Rica to top the group. And Costa Rica will try to make their way back to their regular scheduled Concacaf U17 tournament later this year. This one clipped inside, and Charles gets a hand to it. That was Maria Gonzalez coming in. And Charles making a good save low to her right. The centre midfielder Chaveri having a hard time with the flag and the wind. Sorry, Chaveri, you can make allowances for it. It's going to be there 365 days out of the year, that flag. Headed in, and it's gone in. Costa Rica has gotten another one. It's number 7. Is it Paniagua? It is a hat-trick for Paniagua. She gets her 10th goal for the tournament. Usually she's taking the corner kicks. Chaveri's superb delivery right in the heart of things, and Paniagua just needed a touch. glanced it in. Costa Rica 8, Grenada 1. And she's going to make her way to the sidelines. A hat-trick today to put her stamp of authority. And Costa Rica in pole position in Group E.
Doble sustitución en la selección de Costa Rica.
Mariana Sibaha from Kodea checks in. And Kamaya Charles will check out to give Kaisha Stanisius a chance to get in and have an opportunity. So Kaisha Stanislaus makes her debut for Grenada. Actually, it's Leona Williams, I beg your pardon, comes in for Kamaya Charles. McIntyre finding Hippolyte, who's come all the way to this left-hand side after being left on an island for so long. Hippolyte. Roberts. Positive stuff for Grenada, but now the ball splits the two centre-backs, and the forward is trying to run in behind Mello, who's now dispossessed as a Pfeiffer. And Mello using his speed and guile to win it back. Now the referee has been called to the attention of the fourth official, Yari Aguilar, on his sidelines. Luciana Gutierrez comes in for Iska Chaveri. Mariana Sibaha for Lucia Paniagua. Out wide. Costa Rica still probing. Venegas. Upended by McIntyre. Grenada get back possession. And it's going to be a throw-in for the Spice Girls. There's Lewis. Hippolyte gets a toe to it. There's Quesada. Bending it towards his right-hand side. And Mello again using that speed. But Lopez tucks it inside. As a Pfeiffer just lobs it to the back post. And coming across for the save is Williams. She not only makes her debut, she gets her first save in her career, national career. That was a header coming from Mariana Gonzalez. And Williams, after the terrific save, and nerves gets the better of her and puts Mello in a very compromising position. She's a bag of nerves right now, Williams, but she's making her debut, and that's what all that counts. 2 minutes of injury time to be played. Costa Rica have yet another corner kick. Lofted into the wind. Williams comes all the way out. There's an empty goal, and it's saved off the line by Mello. As a Pfeiffer back into the mixer. Grenada try to clear their lines. Leaves it for Hippolyte, who just breezes past one. Is going to drift past the second and turn on the afterburners. Hippolyte tries to, with the outside of the foot, trying to find his striking partner. It was the substitute number 9, Shadil Jones, to Hippolyte's right. Couldn't find her. Costa Rica will take on Cuba on February 2nd to wrap up Group E. And Grenada will take on Anguilla on that very day to wrap up their tournament. Hippolyte, can she add to her tally against Anguilla? And Kain Medina, who has 12 goals under her belt, and Paniagua with 10. Can they add to their tally against Cuba on February 2nd? And that is the final whistle. Costa Rica turned it on when it was most needed. Grenada put up a feisty attempt in that first half. It was 2-1 for a long period of time, with Grenada holding their own, as they would say. And then towards the end of the first half, they got 2 goals, Costa Rica, to make it 4-1. And then rampant in the second half to win this match in a canter. Medina with two goals tonight. Paniagua with 3. They set the tone, and Las Ticas march on to the top of the group as they take on Cuba on February 2nd. The sportsmanship is still there. Paniagua is all smiles. She started the trend, and she finished it with the first and last goals of the night. Grenada can keep their heads high. A fantastic performance, just couldn't uphold it in the second half as Costa Rica showed their class. They will try to get back into that tournament to then try and qualify for their 3rd U17 Women's World Cup. Mello, a fantastic performance at centre-back. She gets congratulated by the Costa Ricans as Costa Rica march on to the top of the group in Group E over Cuba. So when we come back to Managua, we'll have full-time highlights between the rampant Costa Rica and the Spice Girls of Grenada. So Paniagua started proceedings off with a corner kick that went directly into the goal to give Costa Rica a 1-0 lead after just 4 minutes. Then Mora, skill, curl, perfection, 2-0 Costa Rica. Superb street ball play, we call this. And then the finish was just delightful. Then Hippolyte cuts it back sharply to beat Perez and beats Quesada at the near post to give Grenada their first goal for the night and cut the deficit in half, 2-1. Then just before the end of the first half, as a Pfeiffer crossing Marine finishing. A superbly constructed free kick. And the finish matched the cross. Then, just before the stroke of the half, Medina, put forward by Baquero, beats Charles. Paniagua on a platter. And Costa Rica finish the first half rampant. 4-1 after 45. Then they continued what they started, but Grenada, a shot by Matlin, safely into the arms of Quesada. Then Paniagua continuing to do damage. It was Lewis almost scoring on her own goal. Then Medina, who struggled all night long, tucks away her chance to get her 11th goal for the competition and her first for the night. Costa Rica 5 goals to the good. As a 5 to Medina, she turns. Couldn't get her second. Paniagua on her weaker right foot. Charles to the rescue. Played through Medina, out hustling Lewis. Toes it past Charles and gets his second for the evening from the assist from Paniagua. That's 12 for the competition for the number 11. Then Paniagua lays it back, and Medina could have gotten a hat-trick. McIntyre's crotch, McNeely's cross, couldn't find Lewis. Then Azo Pfeiffer beats everyone, tucked in by Gonzalez. Her first touch was a deft one. Another goal for Costa Rica. Then the corner kick. Paniagua gets her hat-trick. A delightful cross coming in from Chaveri. And Costa Rica winning a canter. Well, after scoring 29 goals in their first 2 matches, they put 8 more tonight to get 37 on the board for Costa Rica. Grenada pulled 1 back. They have 10 goals for the competition. But Las Ticas march to the top of Group E, where they play against Cuba on February 2nd to wrap things up to try and qualify for the tournament later this year. Grenada play against Anguilla on February 2nd to try and finish their tournament as well. Costa Rica 9 points, but look at the goal difference. 36. Cuba 11. So Cuba have to try to win against Costa Rica to leapfrog them to win Group E, as Las Ticas now firmly in first position after 3 matches. So Costa Rica rampant, they take up their familiar position at the top of the group. For all of us from the broadcast team, my name is Ryan Davis. That's all from Managua. We're signing off. Good night.